one Christian Tete Soti was the technical advisor to the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, who left his job at the GRA to manage SML. Immediately the company commenced the implementation of its contract with the GRA sometime in 2020. So this Christian Tete Soti has been Controller and Accountant General for Ghana before. In the mid-2000s, he got retired and was appointed as a technical advisor to the head, the Director General, or if you like, the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. When the GRA was making frantic efforts to engage SML through sole sourcing, this man, Christian Tete Soti, was a technical advisor to the Commissioner General. Immediately SML got a job, he resigned from his role as technical advisor at the GRA to go and work for SML as their managing director. This fact raises serious issues of potential insider trading, which are worth proving. Number 6, it is instructive to note that all these 2018 to 2019 transactions between the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia MPP government and XML were done in violation of the Public Procurement Act, the GRA Act, and the Public Financial Management Act of 2016, Act 921. This is because the agreements did not go through the mandatorily required procurement processes. No approval was given by the PPA for SML to be engaged through sole sourcing, either for the transaction audit services agreement or the price verification agreement, the standard price verification agreement, or the downstream petroleum audit services agreement. Then again, they decided to award them another contract, which is auditing in the downstream petroleum sector. That also did not go through the procurement process, neither was it approved by the GRA board or by the Parliament of Ghana as required by law. Now, the KPMG report says that the price verification contract was not performed by SML fully, but partially, and that we did not derive the full benefits from the payments we made to them. They have said the same about the transaction audit. And they have said that with regards to the price verification contract, it was duplicitous because we have a system called ICOMS, Integrated Customs Management System, which can do exactly what SML was doing, for which they were being paid. So these are the 3 different illegal contracts we are talking about. Now, in the case of the downstream petroleum audit agreement, the Fourth Estate has found that superior and comprehensive revenue assurance measures have already been introduced by the regulator, the National Petroleum Authority, to curtail revenue losses in the downstream petroleum sector. This fact has been corroborated on video by the MPA, an IT guru of SML, and several industry players like ASEP and what have you. Number 13, it has been established by the Fourth Estate that the Ghana Revenue Authority and the National Petroleum Authority do not use SML's data for revenue collection in the downstream petroleum sector. This calls into question the relevance and usefulness of the illegal downstream petroleum audit agreement of SML and the outrageous payments it has received from the corrupt Akufo-Addo-Bawumia MPP government. Ladies and gentlemen, the refusal of the corrupt Akufo-Addo-Bawumia MPP government to publish the full KPMG investigative report on this matter and their decision to allow SML to continue performing their illegal downstream petroleum audit services reaffirms government's ploy to cover up this damning and sleazy SML scandal. And this is symptomatic of the well-established practice of rampant corruption, sordid cover-ups, and the culture of impunity we have witnessed under the watch of President Akufo-Addo, the chief corruption clearing agent, in the last 7 years and over. At a time Ghanaians are faced with unprecedented economic crisis and excruciating hardships, the least duty bearers can do is to use the meager resources of state judiciously and for the benefit of the people. Yet the MPP continues to plunder the state and the national coffers with brazen impunity. Ladies and gentlemen, the colossal amount of money which has been doled out to XML under their illegal contracts by the nation-wrecking Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government could have been invested in social infrastructure or job creation ventures such as capital for businesses. It could have been invested in enhancing the quality of education, the quality of healthcare delivery in Ghana, and other productive sectors to improve the livelihoods of suffering Ghanaians. Sadly, my brothers and sisters, all these monies have gone to line certain private pockets due to the unbridled greed and selfishness of certain elements in the ruling New Patriotic Party. How long will the MPP continue to plunder the state at the expense of the already impoverished Ghanaian people? What crime has the Ghanaian taxpayer committed to deserve this level of wickedness from Akufo-Addo and Bawumia? Ghanaians have had enough of the naked thievery and wanton abuse of the public purse by the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government. Today you go to major hospitals in Ghana and they don't even have simple X-ray machines. Go to 37, they don't have functioning X-ray machines. Yet when people get accidents in Accra and its environs, that is the hospital we send most of them to. You go to the dialysis center, they don't have basic supplies. Only last year, that center had to be shut down for 6 months, leading to the avoidable deaths of 17 innocent Ghanaians. Because President Akufo-Addo and Bawumia said they can't afford 4 million Ghana cedis to clear government's indebtedness. Yet we continue to see them abusing the public purse, stealing from the public purse.
Yes, you radio me say now done it here my MPP. All right. So done it here. Of course done it in my MPP. Na never feel no more about no na me wanwa. 2008 Obano na dwiso ha. You know MP Emma dwiso cabinet minister. Yeah, deputy minister. Cabinet minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mijemu 2007. Semekwa pray the Franca Tune Abano. Ena yemu Akufo Epejano Ebeshe Manemu. Cabinet minister. Ono no baya, ono no besi kind. Eno tuno. Ebeye candidate. Ena afensusu obeye MP. And they say, I know they papa, yes, sir. I know they are not Nanijo. So I bow to cabinet minister, our MP, and then they're Bonnie Bienim. Now, what do so be about the two? Woody, a friend say, deputy minister, and I ya. Emma and I own them now, Kikakan. Sadia, no. Sadia, no. No great Americano. That's all I say. You're very here, happy before Baby Riabanum. About a tomato, Mamma Betty, MPP, no. You're Riabanamana. Son of a person. You say Riabanamana, way a bed, you're Baby Riabanamano. Oh, Judge, I some. So I done it, you know, here, Minim the oil, San Francisco. Say, Chinio. And I need me a boom and oh yeah. Of course, he has no more fire, some mother can some I am fata answer. Ate sɛ ɔsɔ no ɛna nam so na ɔde ɛkwan ɛba adwo so efiri bere a yɛyi no firi abɛɛ mu no ɛdɛn ɛkwan na wayɛ a ɔde abɛkyerɛ gyesofoɔ sɛ ɔno ɛna ɛyɛ ɛkwan yɛwɔ want to be regional chairman yɛsɛ mɛka afaafa me ho na saa na teɛ ɛkwan biara ɛwɔ Ghana me ɛna me ma ho to me ɛna ɛyɛ saa
Abusha boy.
Namo kasem bako efiri ene ekosi 7th January 2025 MPP aban ena woso MPP aban na woso a Akufo-Addo edani the more probi and president MPP president akasa na ato asompa mu a ye MPP ni eno beba no ba be kasa asem atse ye independent bia ye hu titru sinsama shedachi so panyufo bi shedachi ena ye wane no so ba no me say embaso le embaso tra embaso
Na de toso mienu a ehia me pese mutie no yi. We share parliament. Ye wo MPP side ye 138 including independent. Enyesa na NDC side omo ye 137. 138 too. Ye ko votima independent candidate. No de no koka NDC for one. That was the power no ama NDC. Sana yake. Ye pese ye the power no ma NDC. Enti utu abama independent. Utu aba ama NDC. Ene jomba hawa. Sana MP Husa. Utuma independent. NDC na utuma. Anything na NDC. Omo enfa candidate hamba no. Omo ta independent echi. Say yentuma no na ombeka omo.
I wish to urge our president that the best legacy he can leave this country is to superintend over a peaceful, transparent, and credible election. I wish to remind him that it is God who makes rulers, and he can never ever be the one to choose his successor. It is God who will choose his successor. I can assure you all that as leader of the biggest minority party in this country, we shall do our part to ensure peaceful elections. And finally, my attention has been drawn to the intention of the Minerals Commission to grant concessions to various mining companies, especially in the western part of Gonjaland, precisely in the Bole traditional area where I come from. I've received several complaints from the chiefs and the youth associations in our area that no stakeholder consultation has been held with traditional leaders and the youth in the process of awarding these mining concessions. I'll therefore urge that the Minerals Commission should broaden stakeholder consultation to ensure that any mining that takes place there is done in a peaceful manner without any confusion. In conclusion, I wish to commend all our Guan brothers and sisters who traveled that long distance to be with us here in Damango. May God bless you, and when He's taking you back, may you go back safely to your hometowns and to your families, and may God's blessings follow you. I also want to thank our Gonjaland Youth Executive for organizing such a beautiful occasion. May God bless you, and we all hope to meet again next year. I don't know where you decided to hold it, but wherever you decided to hold it, inshallah, 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 I shall attend, and by the grace of God, as President of the Republic of Ghana.
Like you did the last time.
We have initiated the process to trigger this, and we do so, like I said, in good faith and for the good of our democracy. We understand that our colleagues have their own views. Our colleagues in the minority have their own views. We can't take those views away from them. After all, we are not the same. We are two political parties competing for power. They have their ideological views, we have ours. So I will not fault them if on this occasion they disagree with us. In any event, we work together. In politics, expect disagreement. But such disagreement should not obstruct us. So they've made their case, we understand them, but it is our view that we have our 138 as a majority, and we should be able to carry government business. Under Order 52, Parliament has provided for virtual sitting of Parliament. So we don't need members to be physically present in the jurisdiction. Technology has allowed us to join meetings by Zoom. So Mr. Speaker need not to be physically present in the jurisdiction to convene. We don't need to have all our 138 physically present in the chamber. Neither is NDC minority required to have all its 136, 37 members present in the chamber. So we entertain no worries at all as to the ability of Mr. Speaker to uphold this constitutional provision. It is our right and far right. Nothing at all puts an impediment in our way. And we are confident that per the provisions of our standing orders, we would have a smooth sailing. There isn't any established proof of any officer of state causing financial loss to the state. Indeed, what they think are payment to SML are not payments born out of government revenue. If you peruse the agreement, SML is paid out of what it generates, and they would have to pay attention to the details. They are paid 0.05% per liter of revenue that they generate as a result of the system that they have put in place to monitor the downstream activities in our energy or petroleum sector. And it is instructive to also note that this company opened its doors to the Mines and Energy Committee to inspect and to see the nature of the operations. What I want to urge our colleagues in the opposition is that they should not kill Ghanaian businesses. Oftentimes, under the guise of due diligence, under the guise of ensuring that there's transparency, we often get out of control and destroy Ghanaian businesses. So we are of the view that what government has done so far, urging GRA to review and ensure greater transparency in a transaction with SML, is in the best interest of Ghanaians, and it confirms this government's commitment to ensuring transparency in governance. There's no doubt on our mind that the document is for advisory purpose. It's an opinion, which opinion is guiding Mr. President in decision making. So it is not within the rights of anybody to demand, much as it is written in law, that public documents for the sake of transparency and good governance be released to the public, and members of the public have a right to receive these. It is also a written bona fide of the president.
As we can all attest, government through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources acted swiftly following the incident, and in collaboration with other ministries, departments and agencies, relief was brought to the victims of the incident through the provision of relief items, the diversion of the road that was blown away and its eventual fixing, and the provision of temporary accommodation for all those displaced. But were we going to end up there? Not at all. Government took it upon itself to see to the reconstruction of the community, to provide a permanent place of abode for the residents of this community, and to restore them to dignity, to the dignity they deserve. So when I came here, immediately after the incident, the president asked me to let the community know that this community will be rebuilt, the houses will be rebuilt, and therefore I made that promise on behalf of His Excellency that, as we can all see, we, the president, has delivered on this commitment.
President called for at least 3 immediate actions. The first was the provision of emergency. That is why the Vice President led a delegation to commiserate with the victims of the incident. Personal donation towards bringing relief to the people of Apieti in those devastating times. On the instruction of the President, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, mobilized to this town to provide the emergency relief. With the support of the Catholic Church, victims who were rendered homeless were housed at St. Michael's Parish Hall at Bogospur. Subsequently, in partnership with FGR, temporary accommodation in the form of tents were erected at the community for displaced families. FGR again gave us 40 buildings at Dumasi, which the Apieti Support Fund later rebuilt and refurbished to house the affected as the rains began to fall. Through these efforts, we have been able to provide decent temporary accommodation for all victims of the incident up to date.
Though today marks my final day, my final May Day address to organize labor as President of the Republic, having served by January the 7th, 2025, the constitutionally permitted allotment of 2 terms of 4 years each. I want to assure you that this, however, will not be my last encounter with organized labor. In the coming months, There will be a series of engagements with organized labor aimed at promoting peace, stability, and social cohesion. Personally, I look forward to interacting with you once again at the second edition of the National Labor Conference, scheduled for some time later this year. Such occasions offer unique opportunities for representatives of government, employers, and organized labor to have dispassionate discussions on accelerating economic growth for national development. This is critical, and I'm happy that the conference is high on the agenda of tripartite constituents. Ensuring peaceful elections for national development also requires government to strengthen the policy, legislative, and institutional framework of labor administration.
Comrades, we are celebrating this May Day at the time Ghanaian workers and their families are grappling with high cost of living and inflation of over 25%. Exchange rate of the cedi is now almost 14 cedis, if not more, to $1, compared to about 4 in 2016. That means workers who earned monthly salary of 1,000 Ghana cedis in 2016 were taking home the equivalent of $250. Today, 1,000 Ghana cedis is only $71 US. The depreciation of the cedi at this monumental scale, that is about 250% depreciation, represents a huge decline in living standards of Ghanaians generally and workers in particular. This is so because of our over-reliance on imported goods such as medicines, refined petroleum products, and food, whose prices are directly affected by the exchange rate of the Ghana cedi in terms of the major international currencies such as the US dollar and the pound sterling. What it means is that if we want our cities to be stable, we should reduce imports and consume what we produce in Ghana. Furthermore, as we all know very well, Ghanaian workers rely on loans to meet very basic necessities such as rent advance and our children's education. And in some cases, we even have to rely on loans for food. Today, we are paying interest rates of 30% to access loans from the banks. In the informal economy, interest rates can even be as high as 50% or even sometimes higher. Our children graduate from the universities and colleges after we have spent so much on them, but they cannot find jobs. And the trouble is that there seems to be no end of this socioeconomic hardship in sight. We were told that an IMF bailout will help, but we know that IMF bailout cannot be a solution to Ghana's economic hardship. The relatively high wage increases we negotiated for workers in the last 2 years have lost their real values. So, comrades, we have a lot of work to do to protect the working people of Ghana. Brother Chairman, let me shift our attention to the theme of this year's May Day celebration, and that is Election 2024, the role of workers and social partners in securing peaceful elections for national development. As in the previous election years,
saying that if I wanted to influence them, do you think that I would have done that in the public space?
So what was it? That's
Just I'm saying that when I'm done, I will talk about. But what I want to put on record is that I've not bribed anybody, I've not influenced anybody to vote or to do anything untoward for my candidate. I've not done that. I'm a citizen, and if people think that I've done something untoward, it is their own. I mean, their right to do so. But I'm saying that I can't influence the EC officials who are trained, who are honest, who are disciplined to do anything untoward. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. And I cannot do that in the public space. I cannot do that. I know that I've not influenced anybody. I've not influenced the process. I don't feel bad because I know I've done nothing wrong. Okay? I know it's politics. People are going to spin. You know, we've been in this political game all this while. And those who are spinning, I don't begrudge them. That is politics. That is it. But me, Kingsley Nyakon, I'm putting on record that I have not done anything, whether overtly or covertly, to influence the process. My candidates will win this election fair and square. Let me ask you this question. The polling agents, six candidates with their agents, isn't it? Yeah. So if I had done something bad to influence the process, don't you think that they would have raised an issue there? Your reporter was here. Ask him if anybody raised anything against me when I even put the document to the person. You have raised an issue. So people say somewhere and they cry wolf. I mean, that is unfair, but it's a game. I accept I'm a politician. And I respect Ghanaians.
It was a document.
No, I'm saying that I respect Ghanaians, and people said outside they didn't know what that, and they sit down and conclude and say that I'm trying to, I mean, I'm beyond that. I cannot do that. Me, I don't know, everything happens for a purpose. I don't know your mind. I don't know the reason why this is out. But I said that I don't think you've done anything wrong to affect my person. If you've done anything wrong, your judgment, you know about it. But what I know is that I came around to observe the process. Then I even got an interview with you. Later, some people sent me this, and I look at it and I say, what is it? I've been a teacher for a long time. Ghanaians know that I'm disciplined. Me, I can never do anything to undermine the process. Okay? You've been covering politics for a very long time. If I were to influence the process negatively or to my kindest favor, honestly, sincerely, it is the form that I'm going to do that. They are victim of circumstances, and I think that, I mean, I don't know, but they've done anything wrong. This is what I'll say about that. But I will address this issue to apologize that you forced me to put some words across.
What was in them?
That I'm saying that I've done nothing to influence the process. That's it. So if the IGP is being petitioned to invite me, I'm ready for him, and I will. When we get there, I know what I'm going to talk about. But no process has been undermined. Nothing untoward has been done. People are speculating, isn't it? Because they think that this was it. But you sit in your home and you're able to determine what has been, delivered or something. I mean, that is so wrong. I mean, you don't make conclusions on that. You need to do proper interrogation. Ask yourself question that this whole thing, was it able to influence a certain process? And the places there. So if I see you, do I have to know you before I do you a favor? Assuming, so that question doesn't even arise. So there shouldn't be any relationship before, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that I've not influenced anybody negatively to turn the vote of the people in a certain direction. I answered this question already, so there's no need, respectfully, there's no need me to belabor the point. Oh, but he asked the question earlier when I did that. that nothing wrong has been done. You know what I mean? So people should. I'm hoping that my candidate wins, and he will win fair and square, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a convincing win. And this is politics. I know some of my friends even send it to me and they're laughing. You know what I mean? So me, I'm a psychologist, and I'm not bothered at all. But I respect Ghanaians and all those who are raising these issues with good intent. I don't have any promise about that. But you know, you use the word spin. People will spin, and they know that what happened was not to undermine the process. Even without this on Becca, I think same motor report elsewhere. People are exaggerating a whole lot.
He has labored, he has suffered to lead his people into the land of freedom. He is the Redeemer. He has labored, he has suffered to lead his people into the land of freedom. He is the Redeemer.
Good morning and welcome to Alhaji and Alhaji, the mother of all talk shows here on Pan-African television. We are coming to you live from our Kwame Nkrumah studio at Milimpe, number 48, Swanika Street. We are currently live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. And you know what to do as usual. Do join in the conversation by sending your thoughts, your comment via our Facebook page at Pan-African television. And we'll find time and read it loud and clear for you. My name is Ivy Abena Didina Kitei, and I am sitting in for your regular host, Senna, who I will disclose why he's not here later in the show. Now, this morning, last week, a lot of issues happened in Ghana, and this is where we bring you a recap of all the trending ones that were reported authentically from all sides and angles here on the show. Now, we do know that following the death of a member of parliament for Ejoso constituency and also a deputy finance minister here in Ghana who, as I intimated, was the member of parliament for Ejoso constituency. There was a by-election held last Tuesday, which is on the 30th of May 2024 in the Ejoso constituency of the Ashanti region, and there were a lot of issues. 30th of April, there were a lot of issues that came out of this particular by-election. There were rumors of vote buying rife throughout the process, and we also heard that, or they were alleged, that some members of parliament were given bribes to voters. And also, the recent video that I personally saw where some residents or voters alleging that they were given marijuana, and some 100 Ghana cedis to influence their voting. And so we'll be looking at the fallout from the Ejoso by-elections. I have my guest seated right here in the studio with me. Now, over the past few days, some Ghanaians are also attacking President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for some attitude of superiority. Now, we saw that he was asking some chiefs to stand up and greet him. This is something that most Ghanaians are against. We've seen people condemning this particular act. Some members of parliament are against it, and chiefs as well, they are against it. And at the back of this, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has clarified tradition of respect for authorities, and they have released a press statement with regards to that. So I'll be taking you through excerpts of a statement, and it says, in response to recent discussions regarding our traditional norm of showing respect, of standing up to greet our president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs issues the statement to provide clarity on the matter. It reads, the tradition of showing respect for authority, deeply ingrained in Ghanaian culture, holds significant importance in fostering unity, order and mutual respect within communities. As a symbol of this tradition, it is customary for individuals to stand when greeting elders, leaders or persons of authority as a gesture of defense and reverence. Now, this request for chiefs to observe this tradition, especially at public events, stems from our commitment to upholding and preserving Ghanaian cultural values, including the principles of respect and hierarchy. It is important to note that the President's position on this tradition is intended as a reaffirmation of cultural norms that underpin Ghanaian society. Now, the call for chiefs to stand when greeting him at public events is not intended to undermine the dignity or autonomy of traditional leaders. Rather, it is a recognition of their esteemed role in Ghanaian society by embracing the head of state, thereby showing brotherly love and mutual respect. Now, it is also to be remembered at all times that the Constitution, as set out in Article 57, Clause 2, states that the President shall take precedence over all other persons in Ghana. Indeed, the President is the head of state, head of the government, and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ghana, and is regarded as the foremost representative of the nation, both domestically and internationally. Let me do this last paragraph. It says chiefs have been asked to accord respect to the President by standing up to greet him at public events. Indeed, on no occasion has the request for chiefs to stand up to greet him been made within the confines of their palaces, because he recognizes the sanctity of the ancestral spaces. Instead, the protocol where at public events chiefs rise and greet him, as indeed is stated in the Constitution, is meant to give credence to this unique national provision. This dynamic illustrates a harmonious blend of modern governance with a rich tapestry of Ghana's cultural heritage. For the avoidance of doubt, it is important to reiterate that at no point during the President's visit to Damango on Saturday, 27 April 2024, was the Yagbonra asked to stand up and greet the President. As Minister, I was with the President at the event, and as seen clearly in videos, the President, beaming with smiles, walked over and paid homage to the Yagbonra, who was the host of the event in Damango. The general public is urged to avoid this deliberate and misleading piece of propaganda which is being distributed by mischief makers. In conclusion, the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs reaffirms President Akufo-Addo's commitment to upholding Ghanaian cultural values and fostering harmonious relations within the nation, and the tradition of showing respect for authority, including the request for chiefs to stand when greeting the President at public events, serves as a testament to Ghana's rich heritage and traditions. And it was signed by Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. So this is another issue that my guest will be delving into. And finally, May Day celebration. 1st May, as usual, is celebrated as Workers' Day to honor the working class and also to call for the better working conditions of farmers. And with regards to this, the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. Anthony Yaba, has pleaded with government to fix doom. So these and other related issues with regards to May Day celebration will be discussed here on the show Alhaji and Alhaji here on Pan-African Television. My name, Ivy Abnadide Nakite. When we're back after this quick commercial break, I'll introduce our guest and then we kickstart the conversation.
He has labored, he has suffered to lead his people into the land of freedom. He is the Redeemer. He has labored, he has suffered to lead his people into the land of freedom. He is the Redeemer.
My final day, my final May Day address to organize labor as President of the Republic. Having served by January the 7th, 2025, the constitutionally permitted allotment of 2 terms of 4 years each, I want to assure you that this, however, will not be my last encounter with organized labor. In the coming months, there will be a series of engagements with organized labor aimed at promoting peace, stability, and social cohesion. Personally, I look forward to interacting with you once again at the second edition of the National Labor Conference, scheduled for some time later this year. Such occasions offer unique opportunities for representatives of government, employers, and organized labor to have dispassionate discussions on accelerating economic growth for national development. This is critical, and I'm happy that the conference is high on the agenda of tripartite constituents. Ensuring peaceful elections for national development also requires government to strengthen the policy, legislative, and institutional framework of labor administration.
He has labored, he has suffered to lead his people into the land of freedom. He's the Redeemer.
Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Alhaji and Alhaji, the mother of all talk shows, live here at Pan-African Television, our Kwame Nkrumah studio, number 48, Swanika Street, Abelimpe, Accra, Ghana, live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. My name is Ivy Abnadite Nakite. Now, before we went for that quick break, I told you about our topics for this afternoon or this morning, and we'll be looking at the fallout from the Ejiso by-elections and also the role of President Akufo-Addo's selective treatment of chiefs and May Day celebration and the significance as well. And so my guest to join this discussion, Michael Niyaboy. Mr. Annan is a financial analyst. He has joined us this morning. And also Engineer Kwejo Chumbwafo, Junior, as a former CEO, Free Zones Authority. Mame Amaprat Owusudanso, as the General Manager, Pan-African Television. And Solomon Nkansa is a member of the movement. Owusu Nkansa. Oh, there's no Nkansa. Oh, Solo. Solo shows. Solo has also joined us. Solo is a member of the movement of change. Okay, so good morning, Solo. Good morning to Engineer Mamiama. Good morning, and Doc. Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'll begin with Solo. Solo, fallout from Ejiso by-elections, our first topic.
Solo is busy to share his SY image. Hey. When you introduce him as one of the people who destroyed this country.
Oh.
Until you see, until the butterflies started flying.
You see, my brother Chumbwafo will not cease to be controversial till that kingdom come. Here is a case, it's a beautiful morning. That we want to have peace of mind. Right from the beginning, he wants to have confusion in this studio.
No, but you see, the voter registration, the limited voter registration is about to begin.
Yes.
Young people are watching.
Yes.
You see, some are coming to,
yes.
So they should know that you used to be an elephant.
I have never run away from that.
You fell off the back of the elephant.
I have debated
and
you
before you
on countless occasions on this platform
before you fell down,
without any fear of contradiction.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, good morning to you, Ivy, in your newfound position.
Thank you.
Greetings to your predecessor, Sela Nombo. Good morning to engineer, one of the engineers that have supervised wrongful footings in this country. Amaprat, my sister, good morning to you. And to the Don, you are introducing as well, financial analyst.
Yes.
He's also a member of the National Democratic
Congress.
Yes. And then to your cherished viewers. This morning our task is very simple. Aftermath of Ejiso by-elections. Let me say that the people of Ejiso deserves commendation. They have shown what is likely to happen, especially in the Ashanti region come December 7, 2024. Let me also congratulate all the participants in the elections, particularly Mr. Owusu Aduomi, the independent candidate, the 1,000, the one that fought a whole government establishment plus a party system. Let me say that his bravado is something that will encourage a lot of people across the length and breadth of this country to go as independent candidates. And here I'm inviting every well-meaning Ghanaian to brace up, if you have what it takes, to pick up a constituency and contest as an independent candidate. And I can tell you that the Ghanaian would entrust the very constituency into your care. Already I hear in Lada de Kotopo, Vincent Odotoye, the former member of parliament on the ticket of the MPP, is preparing to contest as an independent candidate. I hear in Anyaso Utium, our own Grace Obaya Ashley, the musician, is also gearing up to contest as an independent candidate. I hear the former Blasters captain Stephen Appiah is also going to contest the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. In Bonohafo, in northern regions, in Ashanti, in everywhere, people are living up to the reality that we cannot continue to leave this country into the hands of the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress. And so they are welcome to afford. Let me also say that Mr. Owusu Aduomi is a bona fide member of the Movement for Change. He is a leading member of the Movement for Change. And to that extent, I want to congratulate all Movement for Change members who are on the grounds to make sure that he garnered the much needed vote to bring sanity into the system. He is not a loser. He is a winner by all standards if you check how the results went. Days leading to the elections, we heard what the president of the land said, trying to ridicule Owusu Aduomi, trying to link him to the NDC and linking the movement also to the NDC to court sympathy from voters to vote for the MPP candidate. How he tried to ridicule Owusu Aduomi for saying he has constructed a lot of roads and boasting that every road that is constructed in this country is under his instructions. Yes, we accepted that challenge. So if every road in this country is constructed on his orders, then it means all the roads that have not been constructed are also by his orders. And we also know that there are more roads that are yet to be constructed than those that are constructed. To that extent, the president was only telling the people of this country that he's so wicked, he doesn't care about anybody, that he has what it takes to construct all the deplorable roads, but because he has not been worshipped enough, he would not sign for those roads to be constructed. It was also in this by-election that we had a minister for roads and highways tell the whole country that unless and until you are a member of the MPP or you are an MP coming from the MPP side, you are likely not to have any road project from his outfit. What it means is that going forward, if you are a member of an opposition party representing your party in parliament, you should not expect any development. And I wondered how the MP or the Minister for Roads and Highways, who himself is going to seek re-election, will survive beyond 2025, simply because from all indications, the MPP is on its way into opposition and the Movement for Change, led by Mr. Alan will take over. Now, we had said that looking at the various indications or indicators, it was going to be difficult for the MPP to have it a walk in the park in terms of the elections. They disagreed because the people of Ejusu, predominantly farmers with the youth involving themselves in construction and, as it were, transportation. If we have a system where now fuel prices, as I speak, is in the region of 15.25, even when this one is well. Then it means the government has deliberately destroyed the transportation sector or the transport sector. Farm inputs, because of high port duties, are so high, the cost of it very high, and so depriving farmers from reaching their goals and thereby denying them the much needed revenues. Then you don't expect the people that you have impoverished to be able to, as it were, vote for the new patriotic party. So you would realize that the campaign that took place in Adwoso, whereas Owusu Aduobi was speaking to issues, was pointing at projects that he single-handedly has done, the NPP were busily insulting him, from the president to the last person. All that they engaged in Adwoso was insults, heaping insults on Aduomi and drawing in the movement for change by extension, trying to draw in Mr. Alan Tremantin to a battle that he never was part of. And indeed, if he was part of, he would have finished the entire NPP machinery together with the government. It was a very weak institutions. So issues played out, and Aduomi was a victor in the day. When the NPP realized that they were almost on their way out, almost losing that seat, and mind you, it was a critical and crucial seat, because if the NPP had lost the seat, what it meant was that depending on where Aduomi was going to sit, if he decided to align with the NDC, the dynamics in our parliament would have changed for the NDC to have majority and for the NPP to have minority. So they went in fully. Now, 3 or 2 issues became evident. Issue of bribery and distribution of weed, aka bolua or cannabis or herb or Obonsam Tower, and a lot of accolades for that name. We are learning, and now it's evidently clear that but for the NPP bribing electoral officers, there was no way they could get the 55.8% they had. And thankfully, this one, they say video no lie. The MP for Kwadaso, I understand is Professor Kingsley Nyako, was caught on tape or on video giving bribe daylight to election officials. When he was asked why did he do so, he said it was for lunch. Now, for those of you who do not know the MP and where he comes from, and if you don't know Kumasi, Kwadaso is one of the constituencies that the youth there are struggling to feed themselves daily. One of the accusations against this very MP is the fact that he is stingy. He does not give. He hardly gives. So if it is the habit of this MP to be going around and checking those who have not eaten and be giving them money to feed, they say charity begins at home. He would have started from the Kwadaso constituency. He has never done so in his constituency. Why on that day alone that he went there to give money, fat one? Some are suggesting it was $10,000. Others are suggesting 10,000 Ghana cedis. Only God knows how much he gave them for lunch. And so that is on record. And mind you, for him to have had the balls to do that meant that was the strategy for the day. So how many MPs were deployed to bribe election officials? And how many of the election officials carried through that intent, the bribery intent? Because there is no free lunch anywhere. If I give you money to execute a particular project, you are supposed to do it. Did they contribute to Owusu Aduomi losing the elections? From where I sit, I can confidently and comfortably conclude that but for the bribery that was given by these MPs, it's not this MP alone. If we are going to do a wide investigation, we would narrow it down to a lot of officials from government and from the New Patriotic Party that took part in this shambolic activity. So he gave it. The police, I understand, are investigating, but I doubt whether any proper investigation is going on. Now the statement that was issued by the Electoral Commission gives me the cause to believe that this Electoral Commission is not ready for election 2024. That this Electoral Commission is in cahoot, is in bed with the New Patriotic Party. When the issue happened, when the MP gave out the bribe, that fat money, at exactly 2:00 p.m., the Electoral Commission issued a statement. And with your permission, let me read, so that we go into the psychology of the Electoral Commission, their posture for election 2024, and why the Ghanaian must be ready to defend the integrity of the ballot come 2024. At exactly 2 p.m., this is what the Electoral Commission said. Ongoing by-election in the Ejusu constituency. The Commission's attention has been drawn to a video circulating on social media depicting one of the polling stations at the ongoing Ejusu constituency by-elections. The polling station has been identified as the Fumeswa Pentecost Church polling station with polling station code F311503. The video shows a gentleman approaching the table and dropping an envelope on the table marked by the presiding officer and ballot Tishua. The Electoral Commission has taken immediate steps and has withdrawn the 2 temporal officers. This was the first statement. You see, when they are committing crime, they do it that's where there is a church. They didn't even fear God. The Church of Pentecost, that's where the MP decided to give bribe. God must take note of this. Now, after this was 2:00, so the ordinary thinking was that they had not done any proper investigation. So it was ongoing. Then they came back later in the day, by-election in the Ejusu constituency. Following the incident that occurred during the conduct of the Ejusu by-election today, Tuesday, 30th April 2024, the Commission has undertaken preliminary investigations. The investigations revealed that the officers at the said police station, namely Fumeswa Pentecost Church police station with police station code F311503, were temporary election officials of the Electoral Commission recruited to conduct the Ejusu by-election. They are Rejana Sewa, Ballot Issuer, George Sasu, presiding officer, etc. Our investigations further revealed that the man in the video walked to their table and inquired whether they had eaten. Now, this is where I have the problem with the Electoral Commission. First of all, at the time they were issuing this statement, it was a known fact that the person in the video was a known personality, that is Kingsley Nyaku. Why did the Electoral Commission decide to mention the names of their officials and rather left the name of Kingsley Nyaku and said the person in the video? Because Kingsley Nyaku himself had admitted that he did it, but he did not intend to bribe anyone. So why the cause? Now there is something interesting.